So we'll go on to high school. You know, you're great in sports. You had a great childhood. You know,
yeah.
Things start to, in your story, they start to change a little bit.
Yeah. So I'm an athlete playing at a high level, doing all this stuff, and then let's fast forward. Now I'm 37 years old, 2 kids, mortgage, house. I'm a financial advisor, and I'm a lot of stress. And I had gained 42 pounds. I had eczema on both of my elbows that was cracking and bleeding. I had eczema on my left knee, huge patch, cracking and bleeding. Another skin issue in my shoulder. It was nasty. I had acid reflux 24/7, eating Tums and Rolaids. Heartburn.
Why do you think all that happened?
Well, I'll get to that.
I'll
tell you. So this was going on, and then eventually and I had no energy, dude, and I wasn't sleeping well. The only exercise when I moved, I got away from all my buddies at the gym, and I stopped going to the gym because I'm exhausted. And the only thing I was doing was walking the dogs in the morning because they couldn't walk themselves, right? So they needed walks. So I couldn't do that to them. All of a sudden, then I started bleeding rectally. That's why my shirt says "Love when you poop," because when I used to poop for 2.5 years, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not painful and 10 extremely painful, shoot me, I was about a 6 or a 7 followed by blood. So a couple times a day, painful experience, and then it's like every day, and it's like then you see blood, and you're like, I hope that goes away. So doctors wanted me to go on Prilosec for my heartburn, and they put medications, gave me all these hormone steroids and stuff to rub on my elbows. Nothing really worked, and I did it diligently. I did exactly what I was told to do, and then that went on for 2.5 years. Then finally on a vacation down to northern Peru in a place called Tumbes, it's south of Ecuador, with my wife and her dad. We planned it out, thousands of dollars and planning and all this stuff, and halfway into it, or not even a third of the way into it, I'm doubled over in pain. I missed the plane flight out because there's only one plane flight a day by like 30 minutes, and they had to drive me 6 hours through the middle of the night in this bumpy road. Every bump hurt. Got me into Piura, which is another city in Peru, and it's like third world. And I'm in the examination table with a bunch of bugs flying around me in the light deal up there, and her dad was a physician, and he also ran a huge medical clinic in Lima. So he had them dope me up, put me on a plane, which you're not supposed to do, and fly me to Lima. And then they took me in a taxi, and I went right into surgery. And I spent the rest of my vacation in a hospital. And my wife actually wheeled me back into the States in a wheelchair. And that lesson, what that taught me was, for the first time, that my health affects not just me, but everybody else around me, my poor health. Right. But I still didn't know what to do. So I was trying high diet, or high fat, low fat, high carb, low carb, high protein. I tried everything, 5 small meals a day. Everything kind of worked a little bit, but nothing really ever changed anything. I kept gaining, 2, 3, 4 pounds a year and feeling less energy and not sleeping well. So then my friend on my baseball team, Clay Mahoy, gets diagnosed with cancer. And he does chemo surgery, all that stuff, and we lose him at age 40, and he left 3 little boys behind from ages 6 to 17, and it was horrible. So my grandma died of brain cancer. It's terrible. I don't wish it on anybody. My aunt died of skin cancer, and hers was even. It was horrible what she went through. My mom became the caregiver, and then Clay died, and then now my friend Charles at age 43 gets diagnosed, one of my best friends, with chronic lymphocytic leukemia, which is supposedly incurable blood cancer. This was back in 2010. So Charles comes up to me, he's like, "Hey, look, dude, I got cancer. They don't have anything for me, so I'm going to go to this place in Florida called the Hippocrates Health Institute. They're like at the time, 61-year-old detox and nutrition clinic," and he goes, "I'm going to try to heal myself naturally. Will you go with me to support me?" And I'm like, "I'm in, whatever you need." But in the back of my mind, I'm like, shit, I'm going to lose another friend. He's toast. I mean, because my experience was, you get cancer, you die. That's it. That's what I'd seen. I'm like, God dang it. Like, and these people are like my age. It's not just like some, your old grandmas and grandpas kicking the bucket, when they're older. This is like people my age, and my health's poor, and I'm starting to freak out about myself. So on the plane flight there, Charles is like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, there's no meat, no dairy, no salt, no sugar, no vinegar, and there's nothing cooked over 115 degrees at this place. I just read this in this manual." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, he lost me at like no meat, because I thought my life revolved around it. I kept 5 freezers on the farm full of meat. Our motto was, if it flies, it dies. It's
That's
brown.
typical of a farm boy to have all those freezers too.
Oh yeah, chuckers, pheasants, quail, deer, elk. I mean, we were shooting squirrels. I mean, everything. That's just what we did. You know, that's why I said we were trained for the military. So, anyway, I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll go with you. And we're flying there, and I'm freaked out. But I'm like, hey, Charles has got cancer. Just put it aside. You know, you had taco salad bar at school once a week. You'll just have a salad, I guess. But I'm literally freaked out. Like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself. Right. So day one, my acid reflux is gone. Then I, you know, because I came off the standard American diet, and that's what you asked earlier. What was my problem? It was a standard American diet. And, you know, the cakes, the pies, the ice cream, and I was overconsumption of animal products and dairy products and processed foods and genetically modified corn and soy, all this crap that's out there today that, you know, a lot of us think that somebody's protecting us. Well, they're not. Okay, I've been reading labels now for 11 years, and it's just the FDA is not protecting us. Just so they're just not. Okay, there's toxic poison in food today, and even now the labels, some of the stuff they don't even have to put it on the label.